Wow. Even though this car had an alarm. What's going on? 3 people in here. 3 people at the moment. What's going on? It's been a while since I've been live. It's been a while. Welcome back to the channel. I haven't used this. I think it's updated. So this. Yeah, anyway, what's it? 9 people up in there. Yeah, man. Let's talk some boxing, man. I ain't been on for a while, man. Where's the chat? How do I get to this chat? Hi. Global information. I don't think I've ever seen you before, man. But yeah, hi to you, man. 9 people up in here, man. Let's talk some boxing, man. Gildine? Is it Gildine? Uso? Oh man, I got some names up in here, man. Different names up in here. 7 people, listen. 7 people up in here. Smash a like button. Smash a like button for me, please. Stavy, what's going on, man? Long time. What's going on, Stavy? Yes, my guy, Stavy's here. Shout out to everyone else that's showing up as well. Emre, Suhin, Emrah, Surin. Is that from Turkey? Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz and more. Shout out to you. Thanks for showing up to the chat, man. Trying to read this name here. Nafimik Memut. Thank you for showing up to chat. Turkish, yeah, Turkey. Shout out to Turkey, man. Shout out to Turkey. That's my holiday destination every single year, man. Yeah, man, Turkish. Turkey's my holiday destination every year. Are you from Ankara? Come to Ankara. Okay, Ankara. I go to Alanya every single year via Antalya Airport, Manchester Antalya Airport, and then to Alanya. I drive down the coast to Alanya. That's what I go every year. But yeah, Ankara's the capital of Turkey, and most people think it's Istanbul, but Ankara is actually the capital. But yeah, thank you, man. Thanks to the Turkish. Well, I got the Turkish man them up in here. Turks everywhere. Yeah, Stavy, Turkey. You go. I have to go for a vacation. Hey, Stavy, you will love it, man. I'm there every year, man. You will love it. Trust me. Yeah, man. I'm in the UK, man. I'm in Manchester, England. Global information. I'm in Manchester, England. I'm originally from London. Obviously, you can hear my London accent. For if you know what a London accent is, I've got a London accent. But I live in Manchester. I've been living in Manchester for like nearly about 7 years now. 7 years now. Fjord Sigmund. He puts Islam with a question mark. I don't understand what that means. City, United or City? Emrah. No, I'm an Arsenal fan, man. Mesut Özil. I'm an Arsenal fan, even though he plays for Germany. We know he's Turkish, though. But he plays for Germany, innit? I'm an Arsenal fan, man. North London. I'm originally from North London. That's where I was born and raised. North London. So shout out to the Turkish man them up here. Ayup Sin. Turkey as well. Shout out to Turkey. Stavy, what's going on, man? Eubank versus Ben. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. Fjord, Istanbul. Shout out to you. Yes, man. Arsenal, the mighty Arsenal. Yes, Fenerbahce as well. Fenerbahce, Turkey as well. I support Fenerbahce as well. That's my Turkish team. Apologies if any of you are Galatasaray fans, but, you know, you're still my Turkish brothers, but my team is Fenerbahce in Turkey. Yeah, it's a very nice country. I'm there every year, man. Every single year. De Niro Sparta, man. What's going on, man? Thank you for showing up to the chat. Yeah, Fenerbahce, man. Fenerbahce. I started to support Fenerbahce when they signed Stephen Appiah. I don't know if you can remember Stephen Appiah, who played for Fenerbahce. Is my countryman, innit? So, like, it made me look at Fenerbahce. Even though I knew who Fenerbahce was before Stephen Appiah went there. But, you know, I kind of, like, started to follow them more. Fjord, I don't speak Turkish, man, so I don't know what you're writing there. Santa from Turkey. No, I can't say. Yeah, Ghana, yes. Emrah from Ghana, yes. So, Ben versus Eubank. Stavy put a question in. Ben versus Eubank. big fight. It's a big fight, man. Listen, I'd like to make a straight prediction on that, but you know what? The hydration clause has got me, man. There's a £10 hydration clause. £10 hydration clause for Ben versus Eubank. I don't know if anyone. Listen, okay from Turkey as well. Right, I got loads of Turkish man them in here. Keep smashing that like button for us, please, man. Keep smashing the like button. Ben versus Eubank. And for me, the talking point is that the hydration clause. Eubank looking way bigger. Yeah, he does. Bruce, he looks bigger. He does look big. He's definitely a bigger man. You can even see his head's bigger than Conor. I don't know, man. It's a hard one for me to pick because it's the £10 hydration clause. What is Chris gonna be like when he makes weight and he can only put on £10? How's that gonna affect him? Okay, I'm from UK. I live in Manchester, but I'm originally from London. Right, so I don't want to confuse anyone. I don't have a Manchester accent, but I live in Manchester. Yeah, what's gonna happen? The £10 is the hydration clause going to affect Chris Eubank Jr.? But I have a feeling, yeah, that Chris Eubank Jr. is gonna miss weight. I think he's just gonna, he's gonna make weight, 160, but I think he's gonna ignore the hydration clause. But I'm hearing, I don't know if any of you guys know, maybe some of you guys can clear it up for me, but I'm hearing that for every pound Chris is overweight, it's gonna be £100,000. Dollars. I don't know if they're doing it in dollars or pound, but it'll be 100,000. Yeah, 100,000. Try to speak Turkish. Nasılsın? That's it. Nasılsın? Yeah. Let me have a look in the chat. I'm just having a look in the chat. Yeah, I don't know, man. Have any of you guys got Chris Eubank Jr. or Conor Benn? Chris Eubank Jr. or Conor Benn? I also want to talk about this TKO boxing, man. This Dana White collaboration with TKO and Turkey Al Sheik, because I had something to say about it. I made a video about it, and and I was my views and my points were pretty strong on the matter, right? I'm not really feeling Dana White, definitely not in boxing, right? I've been watching Dana White. I've been knowing who Dana White is for more than like 30 years now. Not even that, sorry, no, about 25 years, I'll say. When he took over, him and the Fertitta brothers took over the UFC. I've been watching Dana White from years, obviously running the UFC. I watch boxing as well. I'm just saying, a lot of the boxing fans don't understand. They don't know what Dana White's like. And I want to talk about it some more because I feel that a few people have watched my video and responded to my video, but never mentioned my name. There was a couple of UK channels, a UK channel in particular was having a proper rant about it. And I felt like everything was against what was kind of like against what I was saying, what I had said. So I'm like, has this guy watched my video? Like, the least he could have done is just call my name out, innit? if views were so strong. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just seeing it like, I'm seeing it one way and I'm seeing it wrong. I don't know. But I definitely like to get into that. This whole TKO boxing and Dana White taking over with Turkey Al Sheik. De Niro Sparta, when's that fight happening? Which one? The Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn? Hang on a second, I got my phone. Let me check. Benn versus Eubank date. So it's happening on the 26th of April. 26th of April. That's next month. 26th of April. That's when it's happening. April. Emra, I'm a jack of many trades. I've got many jobs. I've got many jobs. All right, see you later, bro. Yeah, 26th of April. It's going to be at the Tottenham Stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Again, I keep saying it, it's around the corner from where I was brought up. My whole life I've lived around Tottenham, Wood Green, Tottenham area. So literally it's a stone's throw away from where I was brought up. Santa Claus is inspired from St. Nicholas. Yes, I know this. Who helped kids and women in debt and was born in Alanya City. So Antalya City in Turkey. So Santa Claus is actually Turkish. I have to look into that, you know. I have to look into that. I'll look into that, you know. Definitely. I'll definitely look into that. But yes, anyway. On the boxing note again. This whole thing with Dana White and TKO boxing. I need to talk about this, man. But anyway, until we get a few more boxing people in here, I'm going to talk about Daniel Dubois. Where is Daniel Dubois? Where is Daniel Dubois? He pulled out of his fight with Joseph Parker. He did turn up to the warm-up. What's it called again? Open warm-up, open workout. So he turned up to the open workout, and then the Boxing Board of Control actually came out and said that they pulled him out. They've come out and said that now. Officially said that they have pulled Daniel Dubois out of the fight. Yeah, Daniel Dubois, where is he? De Niro, Sparta, where is Daniel Dubois? I know, you know it is. Shout out to Loz, man. Loz has been keeping the pressure on this thing, man. I've been listening to Loz's videos, and he's been keeping. I haven't said much, but I haven't made no videos about it myself. I've just been sitting and waiting because I've been collecting all the information. So now I'm live. I'm going to talk about it a little bit now. But where is Daniel Dubois? I mean, there is no explanation as to why he pulled out. What were the symptoms? All we heard is Daniel Dubois is ill. Okay. What were his symptoms? Right? There's been no formal statement. Nobody has come out and made a statement, a formal statement properly, as to say this particular thing was wrong with Daniel, or Daniel, I don't know, was experiencing this type of, I don't know, illness, whatever, or some type of effect. There's been nothing. Daniel Dubois himself hasn't come out and said anything. And not only that, there's been reports that he's been seen in Brazil again. So, shout out to the Turkish man then, who was just up in there, man. I know there are a lot of them are breeze now, but thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Turkey, man. I'm going to be there at some point at the end of summer. Probably September times I'll be looking to be in Turkey again. But yeah, man, where's Daniel Dubois? Anyway, only 2 people up in here at the moment, man. Where is everyone? I know I ain't been live for a while, but I know I ain't been live for a little while, man. So, don't know, man. So I have to build it up again. So, I don't know, man. This whole TKO thing with Dana White and Turkey Al Sheik, it kind of shocked me, I ain't gonna lie. It kind of shocked me. Black magic or roids. Triple D, he's getting that re-up on the black magic or the roids. I must have mentioned that in my last video. I think something about the black magic, the Obia thing or whatever. I can't even remember. I mentioned something about it. I can't remember what video it was now. But yeah, anyway, this Dana White thing and this TKO boxing, they want to start a new promotion. They've actually got a fight. Terence McKinley, they've got a fighter actually, and I've heard the name before, obviously because I watch a lot of MMA, so I have heard the name being mentioned, but I don't know too much about the guy. That's who they've got on their books at the moment, and I've been looking into it. And right, forget about Dana White. Just forget about Dana White. because some might say, oh, you got a personal thing against Dana White, but it's not that. Dana White runs the UFC. I've watched Dana White, watched the UFC for years, many years, right? The UFC are a promotional company, right? Who have fighters on their books, and they're also sort of a sanctioning, their own sanctioning body, because they have their own belt, right? And you can't, when you're signed to the UFC, people don't really understand this. When you're signed to the UFC, you're a fighter, you've got a contract with the UFC, you're gonna fight, build your way to a championship level. The minute you get to championship level and you're on the cusp of a title shot, the UFC will not let you fight for a title until you renegotiate your contract. And they will basically, if they feel that you got a big chance of winning that title as well, they will then insist you sign a long-term contract of in excess of 5 fights, maybe 6 fights plus, before you get a shot at that title. People don't understand that. So when you do win the title, just like in the case of Francis Ngannou, who had to see out his contract, you can't just get lost and, go over to another promotion. What's that? So it's kind of a trap. They won't let you fight for a title until you sign a slave contract to say that you're going to stay and fight for another 6 fights. That's after your title. I mean, you might have 2 fights left and then you sign an extension. So it might be a 6-fight extension. You got 2 fights left, add another 2, and that's 8. So not only that as well, the Ali Act. Obviously, Dana White resides in the USA, Nevada, and that's where he's going to want to obviously base this whole TKO boxing and stuff like that, this whole boxing league or whatever it is they're doing over there. They haven't really released the finer details, but, you can kind of work out what it's going to entail. So, again, Dana White, people say, oh, this is good for boxing. Dana White's going to be good for boxing. Dana White's going to fix boxing. We saw Turkey shunt the WBC belt, which I thought was kind of funny, I'm not going to lie. Mauricio Sullivan immediately responded with a statement. If you try to disrespect my WBC, I come back fighting. And Mauricio Sullivan came back. Obviously, he fought back because obviously he felt threatened at what Turkey Al Sheik did when Canelo tried to bring the WBC belt over, and Turkey's like, no, leave, don't. Put it to the side. I don't want that belt over in the picture. He wants that Ring magazine belt. So it's crazy. Yeah, so he wants that Ring magazine belt, and then obviously every time they have a promotion, they have a promotional belt. If it's Fatal Fury, they got a Fatal Fury belt. When it was Knockout Chaos, they had a Knockout Chaos belt. So every time he has a promotion, he has a belt for that promotion to say, this was the name of the promotion, the headliner of the bill. Let's say Knockout Chaos was Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, and they were the head of the bill. So obviously Anthony Joshua won that fight, so he gets handed the Knockout Chaos belt. And who knows them, and they might actually repeat Knockout Chaos again, and Anthony Joshua can defend that belt. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so Dana White, now, Turkey, I think that Turkey kind of, I don't know, man, he was like, he brought in, he basically came to boxing and shook up the whole of boxing and started putting on these major fights, and everyone was happy about it and everything. And was all, yeah, Turkey Al Sheik's doing good, he's doing good. And there were 1 or 2 people, content creators, I know who they are. I might make a video and put some names in there who weren't with Turkey. They were like, nah, I'm not feeling Turkey. And even at the time, I was like, right, what's wrong with these guys, man? But they were seeing something that obviously I weren't seeing. But now, all of a sudden, Turkey brought Dana White into the fold. And I'm like, what? Dana White? And he said Dana White is a man that's to fix boxing. I'm like, Turkey, what are you doing, bro? Like, you've done so far, you've done great. And now all of a sudden you go and fuck it up by trying to bring Dana White into this fold. Who? Dana White? I was like, what the hell's going on here? I should have known, because I forgot what it was. There was a UFC promotion just before they announced this whole TKO promotion and stuff like that. There was a UFC in Saudi. They did a UFC over there, and Turkey and Dana were like flipping. They were hanging around together for the whole flipping throughout that whole weekend. I thought I should have realized something was gonna happen. And then all of a sudden they announced this whole TKO thing. I was like, what? Listen, Dana White runs the UFC. He does not, what's the word I want to use? He's not interested in cross-promotional fights. The UFC do not deal with cross-promotional fights. So now when they're gonna do this TKO, this new TKO, yeah, Dana White's not gonna work with other promoters. I thought the whole reason when Turkey come along, he's like, I want promoters to work with each other. I want Oscar De La Hoya, I want Frank Warren, I want Eddie Hearn, I want Al Heyman, I want us all to work together, right? Every one of us work together to build boxing, to build it back to the great times of boxing. And, you know, Al Heyman a little bit, maybe not, but the rest of the promoters all come together and they were like, yeah, okay then. They worked together and we got these big fights. And then we got the 5 versus 5 with Matchroom and Queensbury. Eddie got washed. Frank was laughing. The OG Frank, fish eyes, brick top, whatever you want to call him. He came out on top. And it was kind of like history. It was history in the making of like these two promoters working with each other, always at loggerheads. So I thought, yeah, this is good. All these promotional companies working with each other. They're doing their own individual shows, but then every now and again they do a big one where they all bring their fighters and they do a massive show. Great. And then all of a sudden, Turkey brings Dana White along, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Dana White's not going to work. I don't believe Dana White's going to work with other promotional companies. Why would he? He built the UFC and he's trying to do the same model in boxing. So one name, one face, one champion. So the minute Dana White tries to implement the UFC model into boxing, he's basically saying, I'm not working with any other promoters. Work it out. It's not hard to work out. The UFC do not work with other promotions. They don't do cross-promotional fights. So when he does the boxing league, he's going to do the same thing. This is just, all this is, TKO boxing, from what the standpoint that I'm seeing it now, all it is it's the PBC on steroids. All right. I know there's only one person up in there. Shout out to you. I'm still gonna say my piece, and whoever can watch it on the rerun back can watch it on the rerun and get at me in the comment section. But it's the PBC on steroids. The PBC used to do it. They used to fight each other and not fight anyone else. And then at a certain point, people say, well, why don't you just make a PBC belt? Because none of you guys want to fight. Well, none of you guys want to cross the street. Remember that? Nobody wants to cross the street. So none of these guys want to cross the street. They want to fight within their own promotional safety net of the PBC. It's going to be the same thing in TKO boxing. They're going to stay within that little thing. And Dana White's going to try and say, these are the best fighters in the world. And all those guys that are fighting for those 4 sanctioning body belts, WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO, all those guys are second rate. Those are that's the B league, like he calls Bellator the B league. That's the B league. We are the A team, the A side. And if you're not in this boxing league where the best fights are best, the champion of this boxing league is basically the best, I don't know, whatever it may be. But he ain't gonna do no cross-promotional fight, because if his champion loses to, i.e. the WBC, IBF, WBO, or WBA champion, it's gonna destroy his brand. So he won't cross-promote. Dana White will not cross-promote. He's gonna try and build a league within himself, and he's gonna say his champion's better than the rest. That's what it's gonna be. So right now we've got 4 sanctioning bodies, 4 belts. When TKO boxing comes along, it's going to be 5. 5 belts. And Dana White's going to claim that his champion's better than the other champions, but he won't let them fight the other champions. What he's going to do is say, your champions have got to sign with us to fight our champion. I don't care. Listen, I've documented it. I'm saying what I'm saying. And this is a documentation of my theory of how this is going to work. So I'm gonna come back to this again. When this whole TKO boxing gets rolled, when it all gets rolled out and it starts to get into effect and we start to see the fighters fighting and stuff like that and the league starts to build and we see how it works, I'm gonna come back to this video and say that I told you so. Yeah, De Niro Sparta, they should have kept it that 5 versus 5 style format. Yeah, that's what I think as well. That's what I think. Because now we got the undisputed fight we wanted. We got the undisputed fight that we wanted. Turkey got Tyson Fury. I was laughing at Loz's video the other day. The big stiff, what do you call him? The big stiff. The big stiff, what else do you say? Ah, Loz killed me, man. Anyway, he reckons Tyson Fury's coming back soon, innit? But, yeah, I fucking forgot what I was saying, man. Yeah, anyway, we got Usyk, and we got Usyk versus Fury. We got the undisputed champion. We got these, Canelo's gonna fight Crawford. We've had a lot of the fighters that are interesting. Obviously, we had Cabello taking out a lot of heavyweights, top heavyweights to cement himself as a top 3 heavyweight. Joseph Parker's on a run as well. So the heavyweight, Turkey brought the boxing to a great place. But now we're gonna get this TKO thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I agree with your theory. I can see it playing out like that. Yeah, listen, Dana White's gonna do the best, but he's gonna say, look, this is my league. What they want to do as well, do you know what they want to do as well? I'm gonna go a bit more deeper into it now anyway, because before I'm gonna draw this to an end. They want to do away with the Ali Act, right? They want to do away with the Ali Act, right? They need to do away with the Ali Act before they can actually implement their league. The UFC model doesn't work in boxing because of the Ali Act, right? They can basically be their own own sanctioning body, an own promotional company, and sign the fighters to fight for their belt and whatever because it's MMA. That doesn't work. It can't do that in boxing, and they want to get rid of that. The minute that Ali Act goes, that's when the pay for boxers starts to plummet, right? The minute the Ali Act is gone, boxers earn astronomical figures compared to MMA fighters, and that's because of the Ali rule. But Dana White and his boys want to get rid of that, okay? And they're going to make it the best, obviously going to say best fights are best. They want to strip boxing of its weight classes. They want to, like, I can't remember how many there is currently at the moment, but they only want 8. We know there's way more than 8 weight classes. They only want 8 weight classes. That's going to cause problems because weight cutting is going to be an issue because there's got certain guys who are too small for the weight class above, but are too small for the weight class above them, and they're slightly too big for the weight class below them. So it's either fight against bigger guys who probably hit harder and can hydrate more, or squeeze your body down and really, drain your body down to dangerous weights to try and make weight for the weight class below you. And then obviously your chin could be compromised, not enough water going around in circulating the body and the brain and stuff like that. Getting punched in the head is not a great thing, drain your body down. But these are the problems. These are the problems of MMA. MMA has these problems, weight cutting issues and dangerous weight cuts. But it's not really heard of much in boxing because there's so many different weight classes. So fighters can fit in that weight class, the right weight class for them, without having to drain too much weight. But in MMA, because there's not that many, there's 8 weight classes, they have to fit either one of them. And that's when things become dangerous, right? That's when things become dangerous, weight cutting. And people don't really think about that. Obviously, the pay's going to go down as well. Ali rule, I mentioned that. And listen, Dana White's saying his model's proven. It's proven. Yeah, it kind of is a little, but there's still faults in it. Because look, currently right now, as it sits, the UFC how can I say? I'm thinking, because I want to put this in a proper manner. We've always heard in the UFC, the best fight the best, right? They always say in the UFC, undoubtedly we know who's the best. Who's the best within your promotional company, because there are other MMA promotional companies that arguably have fighters that are just as good as the UFC fighters. For those that don't know, the UFC is the biggest company, but they have good fighters, a good standard of fighters, and generally they do have top 1, 2 to 3 out of all the promotional companies. But there are one or two of the weight classes. There are certain fighters, right, that would probably be a UFC champion. So the UFC claim that they have obviously the best fighters, and they claim that obviously their claim is every division has one champion. Yes, we know this, but currently right now, as it sits, right, the UFC heavyweight championship is in dispute in the UFC. Dana White's always digging out boxing. MMA fans are digging out boxing. Boxing fans dig out boxing themselves and say, we need to know who is the actual champion. We know in boxing right now who the actual #1 heavyweight champion is, even though he's only holding 3 belts currently, because 1 belt got stripped from him, and Daniel Dubois is now the owner of the belt. But we know a couple of fights back, Usyk beat Daniel Dubois. So undoubtedly, in the eyes of the fans and everyone else, we all know that Alexander Usyk is undoubtedly the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Even though Daniel Dubois holds the IBF, Usyk beat Daniel Dubois. So we know who the champion is. Right now in the UFC, we have John Jones, who has a belt, he won it off of it was a vacant belt. He won off of a guy that was coming off of a loss to Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou was the last man to hold the real UFC heavyweight championship. So John Jones won a vacant belt. Tom Aspinall is the interim champion who has defended his interim belt, which is seen as unheard of in the UFC, right? I'm sure some of you might know the story. I don't want to go into it too much. But basically, the UFC has 2 heavyweight champions, because John Jones is refusing to fight Tom Aspinall. And Tom Aspinall had to go out and defend his, because he didn't want to, sit on the shelf, and, he wanted to keep himself active. He went out and defended his belt against Curtis Blades. Again, the UFC has 2 heavyweight champions. So Dana White has got a cheek to come over to boxing right now and say that he's going to fix it and make it better and stuff like that, when he has problems in his own organization in the UFC. We need to know who the real UFC champion is. Is it John Jones or is it Tom Aspinall? We know in boxing who the top guy is. So anyway, I think that's about it really. I ain't got much more to say on that thing. Going back to Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Without the hydration clause, I'd expect Chris Eubank Jr. to beat Conor Benn quite comfortably. But with the hydration clause, for me, it just depends how Chris... If Chris ignores it and comes in whatever way he wants, then I've got Chris to win it. But with the hydration clause, I think it could be a 50-50 fight. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't got much more to say on that. 4 people listening, I believe. It's fluctuating. 4 people, 2 people, I don't know. Anyway, I'm about to bounce now anyway. But do us a favour, smash the like button. And for those of you that are watching the rerun, do us a favour, smash the like button. Leave a comment as well. I have to go live a bit more often so I can build up a bit more of an audience again anyway. But Stavy, yeah, what's going on? The egg smash was epic, yeah. The egg smash, yeah. Listen, now, every time Chris Eubank Jr. walks into a press conference, or they're like literally patting him down for eggs. Charlene, what's going on? Shatty, thanks for showing up to the chat. Sorry I'm late. No apologies, man. I didn't even schedule it. I just randomly just thought I'd go live and thought I might just catch an audience a little bit at this time, innit? Shit, everyone's jumping in now, man, when I was about to bounce, man. So yes, JAO5, thanks for showing up to the chat. I just been listening. It's just been me and I had like a load of Stavy's been here as well. Yeah, I had a load of Turkish boys come over in here. I think because I go holiday in Turkey a lot. I get a lot of people following me from Turkey. So yeah, shout out to Turkey again. Shout out to all those Turkish boys that come in there earlier. Stavy's been in here. De Niro Sparta's been in here. I just been cooking really. I've been cooking, man. No question, not many questions. So I've been cooking. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it's been a long time. JL5, it's been a long time, innit, man? He failed for eggs, so give him one. You failed for eggs. Yeah, see, you failed for eggs, so just give him one, innit? Von, what's going on, man? Everyone's jumping in now. What's going on? Von, what's happening, man? Shout out to Illinois as well. Shout out to Illinois. Moses Atuma's next fight, question mark. He doesn't have a next fight, does he? But you know what, Stavy? How about this? King Charles Martin. King Charles Martin. Until he can get that title fight, how about Charles Martin? Thoughts on Ben Whittaker rematch? Has that rematch happened? It's scheduled, isn't it? It hasn't happened, has it? I have a feeling that Whittaker might win it. I think Whittaker underestimated Cameron. I think the guy's name is Cameron. I think he might have underestimated him. So now he's going to take him seriously. And I think he might win on points. I don't think he's going to stop him, though. That's just my just rough opinion. JL5, nothing's changed on here. LDBC still crying about Haney versus Garcia. BBL Drew still mentions you from time to time. Does he still mention me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Seriously, while I'm getting on with my life, progressing in life, because I've just been so busy with work and stuff that I've been doing. Like, I've been meaning to come live. I mean, I've been meaning to come live for like a couple of months now. And something always pops up. I've just been busy with work and stuff like that, man. Just been busy with work, progressing, and things are going on great for me at the moment. I don't think about Drew Titan at all. I don't listen to his content. I mean, I still listen to YouTube. I listen to quite a few channels. And some people might mention them now and again. And then if they mention them and say something, then I'll go and have a listen. But nobody even talks about Drew anymore. Nobody even talks about Drew. Not even the channels who usually call him out for his bullshit. They don't even talk about him no more. So, man, he still mentions me from time to time. Listen, JA05, listen. I told everyone before, yeah, I am living rent-free in Drew Titan's head. I'm living rent-free. I got a penthouse suite in there. I got a penthouse suite in his brain, man. That's why he can't stop mentioning me. Is Ben that guy who fell out the ring? Yeah, De Niro Sparta. Ben Whittaker's the guy that fell out the ring, yeah. Stavy, COVID YouTube boxing era was at its peak. Yeah, man, it was. I remember that. Yeah, it was, man. Yeah, I remember the COVID YouTube boxing era, man. That was when the whole Tyson Fury thing, the LDBC were crying about Fury, innit? Fury's a cheat. That's when the whole Glovegate come out. The whole thing with Glovegate come out during COVID. Tyson Fury's gloves and all that stuff, and that's when Blue Blood's channel blew up. I remember Blue Blood had about 30,000 subscribers. And then all of a sudden he just blew up, man, like mad. So let's drink some water instead. Yeah, YouTube boxing during the COVID time was yeah, man. That was peak time. There's a lot of channels that are not around anymore, man, that I used to listen to. Like was it Johnny's Combat Talk or whatever? That guy used to crack me up, bro. Johnny's Combat Talk. I don't see him no more, man. Has he still got a channel? That guy used to crack me up, bro. He used to like have a couple of beers and he sit down and talk about boxing, and he used to speak his mind. That's what I liked about his channel. He didn't hold back at all. He just spoke his mind. And every now and again, I'll just have him on in the background and just like, this guy's killing me, man. TFL TV back in the day, not nowadays, but back in the day, TFL TV was classic, man. Even YB back in the days, man. Even the YB back in the days, man. COVID times and just before COVID and COVID times, man. That's when he was at peak, man. Yeah, anyway, man. Look, maybe I might just go over a few things I was talking about boxing. Did Daniel Dubois duck? What do you guys think, man? There's a few of you in here now, because I was going to bounce, but seeing there's a few of you guys in here now. Did Daniel Dubois duck? Joseph Parker? Because it's looking like a duck to me. It's looking like a proper duck to me. No one got nothing to say. Daniel Dubois, did he duck Joseph Parker? Where is Daniel Dubois? The boxing border control said that they pulled him out of the fight, so they're kind of like sticking up for him now. It seems like they're sticking up for him. I think Frank Warren's, he's got like a couple of boys over there, at the boxing border control, and I think they've kind of done him a solid and said that they pulled Daniel out. But there's been no formal statement. Yes, we're saying, yeah, Charlene duck, yeah, yes, he did, De Niro Sparta. It seems that way. It seems that way. Listen, just before I forget, I watched a great series the other day, man. It's called 1,000 Blows. Has anyone seen it? 1,000 Blows. It's on my, it's on my, I was gonna say, I watched it on the stick. You know what I'm talking about anyway. I watched it on the stick. I don't think it's on Netflix or anything like that, but it's called 1,000 Blows. It just got released this year. Hey, it's about boxing. Boxing in England in 1850s, something like 1850s or something like that. Two black guys come from Jamaica. They come from Jamaica. Obviously, them times they were called the colonies, and they come over to England, London, in fact, East London, and they were trying to make some money for themselves in it, and they got into bare knuckle boxing, and then later they got into the Marks of Queensberry rules of boxing. It's a good watch, man. 6 episodes, man. They're an hour long. It's a good little watch, man. 1,000 Blows. Check it out, man. Remember I said it. Okay, I've only had two people say their opinion on Daniel Dubois. So before I go, I'm just gonna say Dana White, man, and TKO boxing. What's your opinion on that? 5 people up in there. Dana White and TKO boxing. Yeah, my lady turned me on to 1,000 Blows, De Niro Sparta. Oh my God, you know what? It was my lady who turned me on to it as well. Listen, it was my girlfriend. She turned me on to it as well. She's like, listen, she's like, you might like this, She was trying to get me to watch it for literally about a week. I was like, what are you on about? Like, she's like, watch this. And usually when she tells me to watch stuff, I'm like, I ain't watching that. You know what I mean? I might watch it 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm not watching that. So she's like, yeah, you might like this, you might like this, you might like this. She was going on for ages. And in the end, I thought, you know what, one day we got a takeaway. I think it was a Friday night, I got a takeaway. And I was going to go live, and I thought something happened. I thought, oh, no, I can't be bothered now. So I sat down, and she goes, look, watch this. And then she put it on there, and then I sat down, and within 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God, I was locked. I watched the first episode, and I said, yeah, put the next one on. It was an hour long, man. I was thoroughly entertained on that Friday night. But yeah, De Niro Sparta, I'm telling you, man, so it's a good watch, innit? Trust me, man, it's a good watch, man. Anyone who's you ain't got nothing to do and you feel like watching a little series, 6-part series, and there's gonna be a season 2 as well. Because at the end of the last episode, they must have showed a little you know when they showed a little what's it called again? My mind's gone blank, man. They showed like a little preview, to season 2. To say basically there's gonna be a season 2. So season 1's in London, and I think season 2 might be in over there in America, possibly like New York, I think. So it's a good watch, man. Anyway, I've been on for like 48 minutes now. 48 minutes. Thank you everyone for showing up. De Niro, Sparta, Stavy, Charlene. Charlene, I'll give you a wrench as well. I'll give you a wrench later on. So next time I go live, you'll be in blue with a wrench. All the Turkish man them that showed up. Thank you for showing up to the chat. Shout out to Turkey. Shout out to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz and more. Global Information. Fjord, Emra, Ayup. Yeah, man. Shout out to all the Turkish man and shout out to Turkey as well. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, Charlene. Yeah, I'm gonna come live a bit more often so I can just build up the live stream again. Because I've been off for a while now. So yeah, shout to Von as well. Von, I'll give you a wrench as well. JL5 also, I'll give you a wrench as well. I see you there. So later on, I'll go and give you a wrench, man. Maybe even a couple of Turkish guys. I'll give you a couple of guys a wrenches, man. Thanks for showing up and smashing that like button for me, man. If you didn't smash that like button, please do so. De Niro Sparta, I don't know about TKO. I have to see it, bro. Yeah, but to believe it. Well, you got to look at it like this. Oh, you heard what I had to say, innit? I'm not going to, there's no point in me repeating it, but basically, we got a problem with too many sanctioning bodies, too many belts. TKO are just going to bring another belt. It's going to be 5 belts now. You have a WBC champion, IBF champion, WBA champion, WBO champion. You have the TKO champion. And Dana White, remember when Turkey come along, Turkey goes, I want all the promoters to work together. So he got Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren to sit down, hash out their differences and work together. A miracle. Oscar De La Hoya's involved now. Even Al Heyman a little bit. Dana White's going to come into boxing. He ain't going to work with other promoters. The UFC do not work with other promotional companies. They never worked with Bellator. They never worked with Strikeforce. They don't work with the PFL. They never worked with One Championship. Etc, etc, etc. Cage Warriors. I think there's a few others as well. So if the UFC model, they want to bring the UFC model to boxing. The UFC do not work with other promotional companies. What they're going to do is build a league, call it TKO. They're going to have one champion at the top, and they're going to say, our champion is better than your champion. That's what they're going to say. And if everyone says, okay, we'll let them fight. If you got a WBC belt, you cannot fight the TKO champion. Dana White will say, well, come and sign to us, and then you can fight for our belt. That's what's going to happen. So all we're going to see is another belt in boxing. So I don't see how this is, how Turkey said Dana White is a man to fix boxing. I disagree strongly. Strongly disagree. If he brings TKO boxing, the other sanctioning bodies are not going to go nowhere. They're still here. So are they going to try and phase them out? They're going to still be doing their thing. TKO are going to be doing their thing. There'll be no cross-promotional fights. You got to look at it like this. If TKO build a heavyweight champion and you got like, I don't know, an undisputed heavyweight champion who Alexander Usyk is right now. TKO are not going to allow their heavyweight champion to fight Alexander Usyk because if he loses, it makes their promotional look second rate. It's bad for their brand, for their champion to lose to a champion outside of another promotion. Those of you that watch MMA will understand what I'm talking about quite easily, but if you don't, then I don't know, just keep paying attention. Dana White's not going to work with other promoters. He's not here to work with other promoters. He's here to build his brand. He said his model works and he's going to put it into boxing. And to be able to do his model, to be able to implement his model, he has to get rid of the Ali Act. And a lot of channels who were pro Dana White, right? There was some UK channels as well that are pro Dana White. A lot of those people who were, and some of them were quite strongly, you know, saying Dana White ain't gonna do nothing. Dana White ain't gonna do. He ain't gonna. I forgot what they said. Maybe not. Let me not misquote. So I'll leave that one. But They weren't tackling the problem or the issue of the Ali rule. They're trying to get rid of the Ali rule. All right. Dana White hasn't said it himself, but the backers of TKO, the guys behind TKO said, we need to get rid of this rule. We need to circumvent the rule. Circumvent the rule, and then we can get ourselves going. All right. I'll make a video anyway with some receipts, and it is what it is. I'll make a video on this and I'll put some receipts in it. So if anyone wants to refute what I'm saying, I'll put the receipts. But anyway, thank you very much for showing up to the chat. I appreciate it. If you ain't smash a like button, please do so. Thank you very much. I'm out.